Hello, welcome to our look ahead to what the papers will be bringing us tomorrow. With me, we have Sam Lister, political editor of the Daily Express, and Rachel Shabi, journalist and author. We'll say hello to both in just a moment. First, though, let's take a look at those front pages. And, of course, the appointment of the new Prime Minister dominates the front pages. The Metro quotes Liz Truss's words as she dodged the rain in Downing Street, saying Britain can ride out the storm. The FT focuses on her plan to guide Britain out of what it calls the energy storm, with a package of measures costing up to £150 billion. The Express says that plan is likely to involve freezing energy bills at £2,500 for the average household. But the Eye warns that plan will ultimately have to be paid for, either by energy consumers or by taxpayers. The Guardian also uses the image of a storm and says the cabinet reshuffle has been brutal as Liz Truss appoints close allies to key positions. And the Telegraph says the new cabinet, including Therese Coffey as Deputy PM, is the most diverse in history. And the Sun pictures the meeting between Liz Truss and the Queen, with both saying, "Hello, Liz." And hello to you both. Hello, Sam. Hello, Rachel. Right. Amazing how one phrase or theme in a speech can then be picked up by almost every single front page, isn't it? But it's inevitable. It's all about the storm, the actual weather, of course, today, and the actual real economic storm that is coming our way as well. We could almost start with any front page. Let's start with the Metro. We can ride out the storm is their simple headline, and a version of that pretty much appears on most of them. Rachel, what are your thoughts at the end of an historic day?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. It's no surprise that's the phrase that jumped out, given the weather and the situation. It does make me think, well, who caused the storm? And we have had 12 years of Conservatives in power, and the current PM was in a senior position in the previous PM's cabinet. So who exactly caused this storm?
Well, some people would say it's, Vladimir Putin causing one serious element of it and COVID-19 causing another.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned both those things, because I think we do really need to interrogate that claim, don't we? The entire world is dealing with those things, both Putin, as you say, that war, and the post-pandemic reality, economic reality. Now, Britain is performing the worst in all the G7 counterparts. So Britain has the highest level of inflation, stagnating economy, falling wages. It's performing the worst.
Are you, like Peter Mandelson once famously said, intensely relaxed about people getting filthy rich?
People looking outside Britain are looking at it with alarm, because they think it's heading in the direction of being a failed state. Now, it's extraordinary.
Is it really a failed state?
I didn't say that. I said people are worried it's heading in that direction, right? Now, it's extraordinary when we look at the last few weeks and months of people describing the reality of their lives in the UK, the poverty and the destitution that this country is facing. It is extraordinary when you consider that Britain is one of the richest countries in the world. And so when we look at the incoming PM say, we're going to ride out the storm, of course, a lot of people want to know how exactly. What is it that this Prime Minister is going to deliver that actually is going to deal with the very deep and severe problems that this country is facing on multiple fronts, not just energy, but rising inflation, as we say, wages not in line with that, NHS crisis, so many things to look at. And that's the problem, because what Liz Truss is suggesting so far, and we don't know in full yet, but it's not even going to touch the surface of the kind of problems this country is looking at.
Well, let's bring in on some of those problems, because we're going to look at the front page of The Guardian. Into the storm, Truss vows to solve cost of living crisis.
Are you, like Peter Mandelson once famously said, intensely relaxed about people getting filthy rich?